clients are always asking, what's top of mind? What am I seeing out there? Well, and today I want to talk about, is just-in-time dead? So JIT has been around forever. Actually, in fact, one of my first media quotes was about just-in-time. It was in Industry Week, and it was called, is just-in-time justifiable? Is it still justifiable? And of course, yes, it was justifiable at that time. So the question is today, is just-in-time still justifiable, or is it dead? Well, I would argue that if we look at how companies have been utilizing just-in-time in the last several years, it's not what just-in-time really means. They were utilizing it largely as, let's just have the items arrive right before production, and we aren't going to consider risk for critical supplies. We aren't going to have backup suppliers. We're going to assume that our supply chain operates and will continue to operate as it has all along, and we're going to have them arrive just in time. Under that definition, by all means, just-in-time is dead. But that's not at all what just-in-time is really about. Just-in-time is more about, how do we have a resilient supply chain? How do we make sure that we look at where we should have strategic inventory stockpiles? Do we need them everywhere? Of course not. Do we have them in key locations? Yes, definitely. Do we always need inventory? No. We could replace that with capacity. I had a client one time that we argued quite vehemently, actually, that we should keep some excess capacity in the machine shop because it was the critical component for their success. If we kept excess capacity there, we didn't have to turn it into inventory. Instead, we could be flexible to our customers' changing expectations, which they've absolutely changed under COVID. So I would argue that if you have a resilient supply chain, a resilient operation, if you've looked at strategic inventory, if you've looked at key materials or key ingredients, key supplies, and thought about backups, not in the sense of backups where you just source a supplier and never use them, but a true backup, and several other concepts, just-in-time is absolutely what we want to be doing, because I've yet to meet a client that doesn't want to have a superior customer experience with absolutely fabulous on-time delivery metrics, increasing profitability and increasing cash flow with less inventory tied up, tying up cash unnecessarily, which is where just-in-time comes into play. So how do we achieve all three of those wins? We go back to not only best practice concepts from all along, but how do we take that to a whole new level? So it's maybe a modified and upgraded just-in-time process that you would use, but by no means is just-in-time dead. So let's not overreact. Instead, let's take a quick look at assessing our internal operations, our extended supply chains, make good decisions, and think about how can we provide immediate value with a modified just-in-time approach. I look forward to hearing your feedback.